Yo, what it do, friends and fam? As always, yours truly, Joe Chet, here with a special guest,
Ryan Gyllenhammer.
Ryan Gyllenhammer, my partner in crime for our nonprofit, Every Reason to Help. He's one of the 4 founding board members, as me, him, Eric, and Lucas are, and we are here today. We're not gonna do an interview style. We're kind of just gonna talk about our business, Every Reason to Help, our nonprofit, Every Reason to Help, and kind of the stages that we've gone through, where we came from, and the directions that we're going towards. And I think it's going to help you guys in kind of clarifying what it means to start a business and how your business is truly your canvas, and that you can create anything that you want. You can pivot to any idea that you want. You can really do anything and sell anything and promote anything that you want with your business, because that's the only way that you are going to become successful, is that if you figure out what your passions are and you turn those passions into business. Mm-hmm. So the first thing that we're going to get into, I guess I'll ask Ryan this, is tell us just about how we started Earth, what it was, what our mission was when we first started it, and kind of our directions.
All right, I think we could backtrack even a little bit further. So I met Joe in 2nd grade, and we kind of fell off during the high school time. Everybody goes on their own mission, and I actually had left high school, so we were really separated. We didn't even see each other in school anymore, and we were both on our own journeys. And at some point, I got word from my friends that Joe had started a little business, and I thought it was really cool because I was in business school myself, and he said he was just selling shirts. So we started to get into some deep discussions about that. I invited him over a couple times, and we didn't really talk much about shirts or anything in the beginning. Like, maybe it was 5 times that we linked up in my bedroom or something and just hung out and discussed like life purpose and discussed like intentions and discussed what was important to us. And keep in mind, you were probably 16, I was like 17, maybe Joe was 17 as well. And we didn't know what we wanted to be when we grew up. But the common theme in our discussions was that we wanted freedom and we wanted independence and we wanted to have control of our lives. We see, sometimes parents are disconnected from their children. It's really unfortunate because they're so caught up in their work days. So it was really important to us, even at that young age, just to set ourselves up to be able to be there for our families and to be able to live our life to the fullest.
Truly. Yeah, and it wasn't, like, you're 100% right. It wasn't the focus of the t-shirt that got us into entrepreneurship and got us into starting the businesses. That was just the entry point. That was just the quickest way that we could start creating revenue and cash flow. The means of a business, exactly, creating those dollars. But we knew that that wasn't what we wanted to do. We figured out shortly thereafter, after we kept printing t-shirts, we got into wholesaling, we figured out that, printing t-shirts and just doing that is completely redundant for us, like our personal selves, and that we needed to kind of fine-tune our tools to be able to like actually output business and output a purpose and output a mission that is in line with what we wanted to do. So that is when we kind of got, we kept having these open discussions, we kept talking to our friends, we talked with Eric about it, and Eric was he wasn't on board for the t-shirts. He didn't want to be a part of a t-shirt company. But we kind of were like, okay, well, we have these focuses in environmentalism. We know that there's a ton of issues out there surrounding the fast fashion industry, the apparel industry, just labor, ethical labor in general, and ethical sourcing of materials. Everything is out of whack right now. So we kind of decided that we could directionalize and focus in on kind of just creating those solutions for that problem in the apparel industry, and kind of just creating those organic alternatives and those recycled alternatives for the products that we were already creating.
And we're talking about this 2 years down the road, but the only way that we came to these conclusions, the first conclusion being that we're not t-shirt makers, the second conclusion being that we needed a mission statement, the only way that we came to these conclusions was by establishing that we're diving headfirst into it first. We didn't just try to figure everything out from an outside lens. We figured all these things out while being inside, while practicing what we were preaching at the same time.
Completely immersing ourselves in the world of entrepreneurship and feeling those struggles and feeling like we were completely lost and completely directionless, to only find ourselves again and pivot our business into something that we could move forward with. and kind of create more and kind of be like entertained by. And we have done this multiple times throughout our business. Like it's been two and almost a third year now that we've been doing Earth Every Reason's Help, and it has pivoted through ideas.
We just pivoted last week.
And that's kind of like where like your business is your canvas. That's kind of where I got this whole like mantra from, because we got stuck again. We were a t-shirt company. We turned into an environmentally focused nonprofit. Community-based nonprofit, but we got stuck in the mud again. And we realized that we had gone from too not focused with just printing t-shirts and not having a purpose and a mission to way too general and specified. We were dealing with all environmental issues, from communities to working with events, being the sustainability directors, to finding wholesale and organic solutions, to trying to set up an automated team around our business to kind of generate these cash flow models and run these operations and parts of our business. And we realized that we were just chasing our own tails and running in circles.
And a huge part about like life in general is finding balance. And what influences us to make these sudden changes in our business, becoming a nonprofit, and now we're just focusing solely on plastic. It's trying to find balance. It's seeking that balance. And you never pull up a scale and put things on both sides and it's immediately balanced. You have to put something on one side and it leans too far to one side, and then you put something on the other side and it starts to lean the other way.
And then you take some off on one side, and you completely have to create that balanced relationship between how much you're working, how much money your business is making, how much you're focusing on the cash flow parts of your business versus how much are you doing outreach and marketing? How much are you doing organic marketing? How much are you like being a real person and talking to real people, trying to grow your real business? Like it's these balances that you're going to be at war with throughout your journey in entrepreneurship. But that's the fun thing. It's not easy being an entrepreneur, let alone a social entrepreneur, let alone an entrepreneur that puts people over profits. Okay? So, but that's what we're trying to build here. That's what we're trying to promote to you guys, and we're trying to build with Every Reason to Help. We're trying to build something that has purpose, that has meaning, that has like physical things that are going to actually change the world and make it a better place. And we're trying to make a little bit of money and kind of fund it all and make it all kind of self-sustaining on itself, okay?
Because you have to change what's inside first. And that's how you change on the bigger picture. And then once you change the bigger picture and you're impacting people throughout the world, it still has to be impacting yourself. Say if you created this huge influence and now you changed the world, but you're still living your same old life, then what did you really do? You really did nothing, because your family isn't benefiting from it. Everything isn't going the way that it looks like it's going. So that's basically another part of the goal is, creating this change in the world, but making sure it's in line with the way we want our lives to be as well.
Exactly, and it's not just creating the change because you think the world is going in that direction. It's taking your passion. Like, what do you care about physically? Like, I care about the environment. I care about solving plastic pollution and like those issues around the world, okay? So that is why I'm doing this. But it's about defining those passions and turning them into other businesses. There's a reason why this Every Reason to Help isn't a for-profit business. And it's because this isn't how I'm going to amass my wealth. This isn't how I want to make a ton of money. But it's how I want to create a bunch of change, and how I want to influence a bunch of people, and how I want to educate and make you guys more aware of the things that we can do to our world to make it a better place.
And before we go into exactly what our big shift is into the plastic pollution, a huge reason to be a nonprofit is because it lasts longer than you. Some people will say that a movement is only as strong as its leader, but that's not what we want Earth to be. We want to be the leaders of Earth, like Every Reason to Help Earth, and then pass it on. We want the movement to move through thousands of leaders throughout hundreds and hundreds of years. This is something that's bigger than us. This is something that needs to last longer, and that's one of the benefits of being a nonprofit, is that there's no owner specifically. It's something that could be fluid and passed down to whoever's willing to take it.
There's no there's of course timelines and things that we have to accomplish by certain dates, but we're not worried about how much profit we're making every quarter or what our bottom line is or how much money we're spending here or however, we're not worried about that because we're measuring impact right now. And we're creating kind of a long-term plan and like doing things for the long term and stacking things up slowly because we can. And because that this isn't a company, this isn't a business that is going to be focused on how much we make on donations and membership revenue every quarter or every year. It's not going to be focused on that at all. It's going to be how do we change? How do we create more this year? How do we put more things into action to change the world? And then by how much we've changed the world and how much we've influenced others, that is how I'm going to measure how far that we have come as a nonprofit.
And I think a good testament to show how we're focused on changing the world is how many problems we took on at once. And this might be a problem that many businesses get into, is trying to bite more than you could chew. And we definitely did that. And, so we were taking on trying to audit other businesses and help them be more sustainable. We were trying to provide eco-friendly alternatives to other businesses to strengthen their own products. We're trying to provide our own product to strengthen people's, wardrobe. And then we're also trying to create a community aspect where people can meet up and help the environment as a group. And we were biting off more than we could chew. So we're not wiping the plate, but we're, adding more balance onto another part of the scale and refining what our mission is.
So we're basically we're taking all of those aspects that we had and pretty much just taking each of them and kind of focusing them all on solving plastic pollution. All right. So instead of going in and auditing other businesses for their environmental events and doing all of those things, we're just going to be focusing on what we can do and our communities can do, just to start off. And kind of, so basically we have, I'm not going to get into the grits and detail of the structure of our business, but we focus on the community, the media, the products, and then the wholesale. And so the wholesale is going to be helping other businesses, of course, create solutions, recycled solutions and organic solutions for products that they sell. Our products is going to be focused on you guys, the individuals, you guys creating change in your life. By eating right, educating you guys and making you guys more aware on that, and then wearing things that matter, kind of like with recycled materials and organic alternatives and everything along those lines. And everything is just going to be very streamlined focused into solving plastic, into picking up plastic. We're not going to be dealing with environmental racism. We're not going to be dealing with the issue of ocean life or too much heat being produced and outputted and carbon and stuff like that. We're going to literally just focus on plastic pollution and make you guys more aware and educate you guys on what you can do in that space. Because we truly feel that to create the most impact in an organization, you need to have one goal. You need to be striving for one thing. And so the thing that Every Reason to Help is going to be striving for and focusing on is a plastic-free world. And of course, we're going to be focusing on a ton of other things, as I said, side projects, side missions, kind of little hustles here and there on different aspects of environmentalism. But when it comes down to the end of the day, our mission is inspiring and or just inspiring a plastic-free future. So,
and deep in my mind, my subconscious tells me, Ryan, you don't care about environmental racism, you don't care about carbon emissions, you don't care about the health of ocean life. No, that's what my mind will tell me when we're trying to focus on one thing. But when we look at the big picture, all of this is related. And when we focus on one problem, we're going to be doing a much better job aiding to that one problem than trying to multitask on all these different things. And as a result, when we focus on that one problem, the rest of the things will also be impacted. So if I had to respond to my own subconscious, it would be to say that this is how that impact is actually going to be made. If we were to focus on all of those things, we would essentially do nothing. We would end up with no impact at all. So impacting one sector is much more important than trying to touch on every single thing, because it's not possible.
That's why you have to just pick your thing and educate and have education and making others aware of the issues in your niche are so important. because other people can help you. Other people can start other organizations. Other people can join your organization to help you grow. There's so many different opportunities, and you need to be just like so selfish and focused on yourself, like, and like what, like the single stream thing that you have to accomplish, and that is how you're going to accomplish the most. Or you're just going to be running in circles and doing the same thing over and over and over again, and kind of just touching the surface and like only just bringing some awareness to each of these subjects instead of actually helping things and changing the world and making change and inspiring it.
Mm-hmm. And since this is socialpreneurship, I guess we should kind of talk about how structuring a business and focusing a business on a mission is important, but it's such a process. It's not something that will come immediately. It's not something that you will birth like when you're 17, like we tried to do. It's something that will come over time and experience and with influence of other people. So when we're structuring a business, if there's any lessons to take from our experience with Every Reason to Help, it would be lay out everything that's important to you and address everything that's important to you, and then get an overall theme of it. See what the theme is, and then see what a direct problem within that themed area is, and try to address it and see how you can solve that problem. Because if you break down what a business is meant to do, it's meant to solve problems. So you really need to focus on one thing specifically and see how you can address it in a way that no one's done so far.
Exactly, and it's that simple. It's taking one thing and working towards solving that one problem. And if that doesn't work, it's then pivoting to another singular problem, another like product that you can sell. And it's not taking on too much. It's you're not going to just go out and get your LLC and your tax ID number and just create a product and go out and sell 100 of it, like you're 1,000 of it or 10,000 of it. It's actually like a problem solving. You're going to have to sit down and you're going to have to create kind of like, what is the problem? All right, I got the problem. What is the solution? All right, like how am I going to market the solution to the people that have this problem in a way that they're going to accept it and understand it quickly, so like others so they won't buy it from others. Like there's so many different aspects that like you have to take part in, but it's very simple. And don't think that you're ever drowning in it and you're ever falling behind and you're ever not doing things correctly, because that's when you're actually not going to be doing things correctly. Like it's all about just trial and error and trying things and failing and pivoting, and not like failing isn't actually failing, because you only actually fail when you quit. It's just a minor setback. It's an educational point. It's something that you learned didn't work, so you're going to change and you're going to do it again a different way. It's that simple, and it's just never stop trying, because right here, like we started this 2.25 years ago, and we will be still talking about this organization, this nonprofit, 10 years from now, because it's that kind of thing. We are going to be pivoting, we're going to be growing, we're going to be cutting the fat, we're going to be refocusing, we're going to be doing more until we've got it, until we've created that thing that we wanted to create, because we didn't start Earth for just to start a business and to make some money. We started it for a reason, because we wanted to create impact and change people's lives. So we're going to do that over time.
Yeah, I like that you brought up intention too, because I've heard a teacher say that you're only as strong as your intentions, or you're only as strong as your goals. And if you think about it, if your goal is money comes and goes. Like if you look at your bank account over a 5-year point, it goes up and down. Money comes and goes. So if that's your goal is going to come and go. It's not going to stay with you. If your goal is tranquility and life fulfillment, that's something that could be more lasting. Think about it. If you work out every single day, but your goal to work out is to find a wife and to impress them,
and you're going to be big and show off your muscles.
Yeah, when you meet your wife and you impress them, it's done. It's over. You're not going to want to work out.
Get fat and flabby again, and like you're going to fall back from your goal.
Yeah. So your goal should really just be, providing for your family, providing for yourself, and providing value to the world, because these are things that could last even longer than your life. So it'll be something that will eternally motivate you, instead of something that you could achieve and then grow old from and get bored of.
Plain and simple. So we just hit you with a ton of information, a ton of inspiration, a ton of motivation on what you need to do and how you are going to go about executing your passion and turning it into a business, a S Corp, a B Corp, a nonprofit, whatever it may be, a lemonade stand with no legal entity. It doesn't matter what your passion is, but all you need to do right now is start to execute on it. Is write down what it is, write down some ideas what it is, some of the problems in the industry, some of the solutions, and just start figuring out, okay? Tip the scale, okay? You're gonna have to tip the scale onto the one side for you to create that balance. So it's basically up to you at this point. I hope that you guys have gotten inspired and gotten motivated and that you guys are gonna take action. And if you haven't, you know that we're going to be back here every single day, Monday through Friday on the Socialpreneurship Podcast, inspiring you guys to actually execute and to take action in your life. So I want to thank you guys for giving us all this time and letting us explain. If you got a last word.
Reach out to us. You know, we're not any pros or anything.
Not at all.
We could definitely give you an honest, good-hearted opinion about your ideas, and it's best to, you know, air things out. If you keep things in your mind, you might go too far with an idea that won't be practical in life. So make sure you air it out, and, you know, Socialpreneurship is a great place to talk about it.
Yeah, talk to your friends, talk to your family, hit us up on the Every Reason to Help Instagram page, email us, everyreasontohelp@gmail.org, email me, socialpreneurshipmedia@gmail.com, hit me up on the Socialpreneurship page on Instagram, on Facebook.